New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 15, episode number 3,381. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, Ryan Castle joins us from his basement studio dungeon. Once again, we will sit and spin now. And in honor of the holidays and food aplenty, today we bring you 10 bands renamed by Vince Neil. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, Men's Room Shout of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorites, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, you're going to draw.
All right, here we go. If living in Central PA wasn't bad enough, black vultures are now pooping all over town. Meanwhile, 2 kids steal their parents' SUV and drive from New York to Delaware before cops can slow them down. In Canada, police stopped 2 people, 2 for wearing shorts in the cold, to Russia where New Year's Eve fireworks maybe have to be put on hold. And a wild boar tears through a tea shop in China in honor of the Schlitz Malt Liquor Bowl. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, on yesterday's show, we told you about a woman that was hiking on Mount Hood who disappeared. Well, she didn't actually disappear, but she did fall into a fumarole, which is an opening in or near a volcano through which hot, sulfurous gases emerge. Well, she fell 15 feet into the toxic pit, but she did manage to get out with a little bit of help and only injured her shoulder. Could have been a lot worse. We also told you about the Miss Thailand contest, where 30 Miss Thailand hopefuls, well, they plunged into a dirty lagoon when the bridge they were on collapsed during a photo op. Not to be outdone, we learned just this morning that 2 people here in Washington State, well, they were injured when the chairlift that they were on detached from the line that it was connected to. It happened in eastern Washington at a ski resort. Now, again, 2 more people injured. But things like this happen. You don't expect it to happen to you, but you know there's a risk. I mean, I've gone skydiving, but I don't think I would ever bungee jump. There's just something about it. And a guy in Poland, well, he went bungee jumping. It was a 330-foot jump. He went about 340 feet when his bungee snapped. Good news is he landed on an inflatable cushion. And he still broke his spine and suffered multiple organ failures. I almost couldn't think of anything worse until I read about the guy in Florida who was on a rope swing and the rope swing snapped. That's happened to a lot of people. The difference is he didn't fall very far, but he did fall into an alligator-infested pool. Oops, good times. Good times. Today we're talking about falling. plummeting, unexpectedly cascading. A lot of times, it's not your fault. Mechanical error, just something you didn't anticipate. Next thing you know, much like Tom Petty, you're free falling. By the time, thank you very much. We got Tom Petty jokes, bitches. But this is today's question. Why did you fall? How far did you fall, and what broke your fall?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Text 77999 and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, no, Malcolm. The debauchery is just beginning. All Bacholas, and away we go. Welcome to Season 15 and episode number 3,381. What a large and a charged program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat here as we churn ever so close to the holiday season. And speaking of, once again, Ryan Castle will join us from his basement studio dungeon, and we will sit and spin. In honor of the holidays, what's one of the favorite things about holidays? Of course, eating some delicious food.
Oh, yeah.
We have a food-inspired sit and spin. Mm-hmm. As today, we will bring you 10 bands renamed by Vince Neil. The one and only Vince Neil from Motley Crue. Believe it or not, we do have some Motley Crue news for you.
Which kind of figures into today's sit and spin.
It was the inspiration.
Because otherwise we would have never thought of it.
I had no idea. But believe it or not, Motley Crue has come out with a whole line of delicious hot sauces.
That's right.
Which are available at Motley Crue's website. If you'd like to go there and buy them, unfortunately you can't. They have already sold out. $75 for either a 6 or 7
pack, yeah,
of all of their sauces, and they are gone, and probably until the first of next year.
I would guess, yeah.
So if you didn't get on the train already, but just know the Motley Crue, they have their own Motley Crue-inspired line of hot sauces. So that is very cool. So we're going to take advantage of that coming up with Sit and Spin today. And today, 10 bands renamed by Vince Neil. And we're going to talk about falling. And I think as far as one of the greatest fears that I have personally, falling is up there. That's the whole premise and basis for my fear of heights.
But that's what it is. I don't think anyone really has this fear of heights. I don't think people legitimately have a fear of flying. You have a fear of crashing. You have a fear of falling.
Sure. Now, for example, we sit right beside a window that is 14 floors high. Now, I can walk right up to that window and put my nose on it and look down at I-5, and I have no problem. Now, if that window was not there, I would be over in the corner of that kitchen knowing that is an open 14-story drop.
What if it has a railing?
It would, like I had trouble at Steve's apartment on his balcony.
It was the 6th floor.
Man. I had trouble on... Look, who puts that railing up? Some schmucko like me and you, right?
No.
Someone
like me and you. Someone who knows what the hell they're... People like you and I
So what if you find out, that guy didn't know what he was doing? Well, whoopsie, here I go. You know what I mean?
Now people are falling off of balconies all the time.
Well, yeah, but that's, fortunately you did not remember that.
No, I'm saying they're built safely. I fell off one because of being an idiot.
The only thing that fell off my balcony at the old apartment, and this is true, I had a glass bowl, smoking outside on the balcony, and I'm cleaning the thing off, right? And I kind of tap it on the metal railing that was very securely in place. It snapped in half. All right, so I'm holding the stem, the bowl part, but it drops 6 stories to the ground below and lands directly in front of this woman who's walking down the street. Mm-hmm. And she looks up, and I mean, all you can say is, sorry. Right. She didn't look happy, but, you know. I was pissed because I didn't have a bowl anymore.
Yeah, I've got a little skinny townhome thing, 2-bedroom, but you have to go up a couple big flights of steps. There's no way out if it catches on fire.
Right, you're going to die.
But there's 2 balconies. So I always look and say, all right, where would I jump? What would I try to do? Would I try to tuck and roll? Would I try to land on 2 feet?
No.
Would I try to aim for the gravel? Am I going to go straight?
Like gravel?
Am I going to go straight concrete?
Go for that little bit of grass you got, man.
I don't have that grass anymore. I replaced it with gravel, so I wouldn't have.
Oh, you're going to hit the gravel?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going gravel.
You don't care about gravel.
But I've thought about this. You know, like anything else, it's just like it's for whatever reason, heights is one of those things that it's only based on the fall. I can jump off a bridge into water. I can jump off of cliffs.
That makes no sense to me, though. The bridge you said you jumped off as a teen in West Virginia. How many feet above the water was it?
Way too high. Right. 50, 60 feet, 70 feet.
Right.
Jesus.
Like, you volunteered to do that. Like, at my place, there is a railing installed by a professional. At least that's what I believe. The bridge, which I'm sure was built by a professional, you jumped off of it.
Much higher than the Fremont Bridge, probably the equivalent of the girders on the George Washington Aurora Bridge. That's probably about close to the height where we were.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But we were young, and man, we were strong swimmers, and that's what we did.
It's not the swimming, and it is not the age. It is the drop from the bridge to the water. Like, once I'm in the water, I know I can swim. Right. The problem is, I got to let go of the bridge first.
Yeah, and that was one of the great things about whenever you cliff jump or whatever. Like, if you go on vacation or something, there's a place where you can jump off. You know, I'm always like, for me, getting on a ride at an amusement park terrifies the hell out of me. I can walk right up to a cliff and jump the hell off, no problem.
That makes no sense.
It does not make any sense.
I'm the opposite. I could stand on, like, look out the railing, this and that. I'm not huge on cliff jumping.
I can. That's for me. That's great. But
although, again, that said, the CN Tower in Toronto, I don't remember how high it is, but the point that you're at the main observation deck, they do have that glass part in the floor, and you know, you look down, and it's just looking straight down the base of this tower, and it did me no good. I was fine to be up there, go to the railing. You can step outside, much like the Space Needle, walk around the perimeter. It does not bother me. You just say, man, what an incredible view of the city. But somehow standing directly over that glass part, I'm like, this is not okay to me.
No, I saw there was a post today on Twitter by country music star Tim McGraw.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tim McGraw,
legend.
He is married to the one and only Faith Hill. Blah 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 blah. All that stuff. So he decided that he was going to put up a Christmas tree in their house.
Yeah.
All right. So he posts this picture of himself putting the star on top of this Christmas tree.
How tall is that goddamn tree?
This Christmas tree is the biggest Christmas tree I've ever seen in anyone's home.
That's got to be 24 feet at least.
Tim McGraw's got like a 20-foot ladder, and he's straddling the top of it, and he's sitting on top of it, and he's putting the star on top of the tree.
Are there any... Hold on.
I see this, and immediately I get a cold chill.
You notice one thing absent in this picture.
What is that?
So this is obviously Tim McGraw's home. Tim McGraw obviously is worth tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. He has this incredible entryway where he's putting this Christmas tree. Probably at least a 30-foot ceiling.
30 foot, maybe?
Notice there's no lights up there. Point being, if you have to change a light bulb, it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. There's not a single light up there. I guarantee you, he said, look, baby, Faith, I love you. Sure, we can get this big gratuitous entryway that we don't need, but we're not putting any lights up there because I'm not changing those goddamn light bulbs.
The electrician who wired my house, man, he was just one of those guys that just like, you know what, I'm going to F this guy any way I can. And any way that there was the top part of like a cathedral-style ceiling.
Oh, that's where you put the light.
I'm going to stick that fire alarm right there. I'm going to put that smoke detector.
Even your 6-foot ladder.
Why do they always put that? Is there a reason?
It must be some kind of thing.
I used to hang out with somebody that had a house like that with the vaulted, and that is where. When I came over once, I was like, "Can we change it?" She's like, "I don't have a ladder that tall."
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you need a 40-foot ladder.
I think Home Depot's behind it. Home Depot says, "Look, we don't always get a big run on ladders, but if you build cathedral ceilings and you put the goddamn thing at the highest point, 15 feet above someone's head, they have to come here and buy a ladder."
No. The ladder people, they got in cahoots with the 9-volt battery people.
Right.
That's exactly.
Tell you what we can do.
There's only two.
We'll
things.
put the smoke detectors as high as we can. You sell ladders, we sell 9 volts.
You know damn well when that thing starts beeping at 3 o'clock in the morning, you got that thought like, I don't have a 9-volt battery. Damn it. Guess you just forget to pick them up.
That is one of the things, though, you will go get.
Yes, to make the beeping go away.
Yeah. How do we say the name of this town of Washington? I don't know if this.
Hold on, I wrote it down.
Is it Chualea?
I think it's Chualea. Yeah,
Chualea. All right. There's a ski resort there. 2 people were injured after a chairlift detached from its line.
No.
At an eastern Washington ski resort. The Bellingham Herald, this must be on Baker, reports a chair carrying 2 people broke from the lift on Chair 1 at 49 degrees North Mountain Resort. Ski patrol attended to the guests who fell and escorted them to the patrol room. They sustained minor injuries. Operators inspected the lift before running the chair in safety, and they unloaded everybody. Resort is investigating. But have you seen the videos before where somebody is holding on to their child who has slipped through? And basically they're holding on with an arm, and there's this kid dangling with his skis in the air.
But see, I'm confident I can hold my kid, because you're always in a situation, for some reason, the difference between your kid still being alive and not being alive is because of your death-like grip on them. Mm-hmm. But it's altogether different when the chairlift snaps.
Right.
You don't anticipate it. There's nothing you can do about it. There's just a moment where you probably look at each other like, do you have a weird sensation? And before you can get those words out of your mouth, you're both plummeting to the ground.
Sure. I have fallen going up a rope that just pulls you up the green slope before because
the bunny rope, dude.
My skis got crossed, and I just
come on, man.
You know,
the tow rope?
Yes, the tow rope. Sorry, it just happened.
That's just sad.
Yeah, I mean,
as an adult, as a kid, nobody cares.
Anyway,
yeah.
Man.
Can you handle the J bar?
The J bar I can handle, yes, but I still have some my difficulties. But I'll tell you what,
I will say this: I'm shocked there's not
terrifying.
more accidents on chairlifts.
I'm terrified.
Well, people are high, people are drunk, and one of the last times I got on a chairlift, we're about halfway up the mountain, and it occurred to us neither one of us had pulled the thing down.
Yeah.
And so it's me and someone I don't know. We're both kind of looking at it, and it's like, man, it'd be a lot safer because, it kind of leans forward a little bit. And I said, look, bro, let's just leave it because one of us has to lean forward to grab it. And I know I'm not going to do it, so unless you're volunteering to do it, which he was not. So we just rode the whole thing up at the I wasn't going to lean out.
No,
I'm not leaning forward. At this point, we're way over the mountain. I'm like, let's just hold the hell on.
Yeah, I haven't gone in years, but I'm the same way. I'm always like sitting as far back as I can, holding on, like, let's just get off this lift.
Yeah. And I never seem deep enough. Like, you're trying to sit back, you're trying to shift the weight, and I'm like, why isn't this deeper? So I feel like I'm leaning forward.
I keep looking up at the rope, like, is this strong enough?
And some of them are kind of quick.
Oh, yeah.
I like up at Alphatall, I'm like, man, that chair moves.
I will say, years ago, when I was a kid, we lived in Colorado, and there's Royal Gorge Dam, or whatever the hell it is, but I don't know if this is still true, but at the time, it was the highest suspension bridge in the world. So my parents take us there, and my father's not great with heights. I did not know I was not great with heights until we got there. So suspension bridge, just the wooden planks that run the length, and you can walk over, I believe, the Colorado River, but whatever the river is, you're like 1,000 some odd feet above this. And you could feel this thing swaying in the wind, and it was still open to vehicular traffic. And I always remember a van driving over it, and you could, like, feel the strain on the wood, and it sucked. Now, the thing is, you cross over this bridge, and and it takes a long time to cross, not because the distance is that great, but your legs get heavy because your body's telling you, please do not walk forward, but you got to do it. Well, once you get to the other side, there's a place you can, like, grab lunch or whatever, but you got to go back. Like, there's no other way to leave this spot that you're at unless you walk back over the bridge. And it sucked doing it the first time. But again, we're kids, so we have to go back over. Now, the one person this does not bother is my mother. And my brother, being the older brother, he's still trying to put on the brave face. So we went across the bridge. We grabbed lunch. That was not worth the walk. Walked back across this bridge. I just remember being, and I'm not the only one. I mean, the whole thing about this walk was that when you listen to every conversation of hundreds of people walking across this thing, people are laughing hysterically because they're so scared. And even where there's like a gap in the planks, you would look down. Right. This gap is not big enough for you to fall through. Understand, it's a half-inch gap, right? It is it's like getting sucked down a bathroom drain. It's not going to happen, but you're so high up, people have lost their sense of logic, myself included, where I'm going to fall through that hole and plummet to my death. Whatever. We get back across the bridge. I'm so relieved that it's over. And now my mother decides she wants to take the tram. And the tram is even higher, and this thing goes over the bridge again. So my brother's all for this. She's like, hey, I'm going to do this. Who wants to go? Now, my father and I, we have no BS in us, so it's like, no. She's like, are you checking? We said, yeah. I mean, straight, what do you want me to tell you, man? There's a big-ass trolley car hanging on a telephone wire, as best I can tell. I'm not getting on there. My brother, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. They get in line. They finally get the chance to get on that thing. Here comes my brother wandering back to us. My mother did it alone. So my father took us on what he perceived to be the less scary. It's kind of like maybe like 3 train cars that takes you to the bottom of this gorge. What I didn't realize, when you get on it, you are horizontal. And it just takes you down. It just follows the cliff wall. So when you're sitting on this thing, no matter where you're sitting, you can look out the front window of this train and this river that's 1,000 some feet below you. It's just, and that's the entire frickin' ride down. And obviously it does not go fast because they're not trying to kill you, but maybe it was 5 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour. It took forever to get down there. And I remember...
Was it at like an incline that you just went straight down the hill?
It is about a 175-degree incline.
Because the incline in Pittsburgh is scary as hell.
I'm just thinking about the one on Mount Washington.
It's terrifying.
Much worse than that. Well, this is considerably worse.
No, because that one was built in like 1612.
Sure.
And it's the same damn car. You know what I mean? Like you get in there and you're like, I do not know about this at all. It's like being on the T in Boston. It's like that.
Yeah, I'm with... I have not been on the one you're talking about.
I'm telling you.
But that incline in Mount Washington, Pittsburgh, I mean, I'm not super scared of heights. I was fearful.
And it terrifies you.
I mean, it has like old, like iron wheel. You're just like, this thing is going to break.
It's squeaking. But didn't your brother not get into the Coast Guard Academy just based on heights?
Again, so he is...
I mean, seriously. He has done badly for himself in life.
No, but it's just a pathetic thing, man. He, unlike me, he was very heavily recruited by everybody and everything by his junior year of high school. So over the summer between junior and senior year, every day in the mailbox, it was no joke, probably got 30 different letters from 30 different colleges, academies, all this stuff that wanted him there because he's a brain, right? And it always looks good for them to have smart kids. So everyone recruited him, but the thing that really piqued his interest was the Coast Guard. And they were in, and they probably still are, New Haven, Connecticut, I believe it is. So anyway, we lived in Rochester. It's like a 9-hour drive. So he's very interested. The Coast Guard is very excited about the fact that he's interested. So we do the family trip. We're going to go to New Haven. God, I think that's the name of it. Something. Anyway, go to this place in Connecticut. It's the home of the Coast Guard Academy. They're going to train him to be an officer, and he goes through all that. Now, he doesn't go through the training, but they are doing kind of the tour thing. And I remember I got there, they handed me a Coast Guard baseball cap. Never been so proud.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm going to be repping my brother. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah, you're going to root on the Coast Guard football team, the basketball team, all that.
All the great sports that are known to come out of the Coast Guard. And we sit through this entire presentation. My brother's eating it up, and the last thing they show is you go out on like this clipper ship, I guess, and you had to climb up a cargo net. I believe it was 200 feet or something like that, up to the mast, throw your leg over the side, right, and then climb back down. Mm-hmm. The problem was they showed a picture of your view from the top.
Oh.
And my brother's watching this with and in that instant, he's like, no. And then my father's like, no, man, no, he's not going to do it. The tour finishes. He talks to the guy who's recruiting him. They're excited. My brother says, is there anything you can do other than that as the final thing? The guy's like, no, man. I mean, that's what we do here. Brother's like, I'm out.
Nope.
That was it. That ended the Coast Guard.
I'm out. I'm out.
No.
I'm out.
There was no discussion. He was just, no.
Did they take the hat back?
No, I got to keep the hat, but I don't want to wear it. I don't know anybody in the Coast Guard now. What the hell do I care? This candy ass.
Why did you fall? How far did you fall? And what broke your fall? 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Our question, why did you fall? How far did you fall? And what broke your fall? Like the ground. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Andy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
Long time listener, first time caller. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Thanks, Andy.
Well, this is probably a story about a long time ago. Probably it's because I'm so stupid now. But about 10 or so years ago, kind of like Thoreau's brother, happened in Connecticut. I jumped off a diving board back when I was like 12. I don't know what I did, but when you're that age, you want to do like a backflip or something.
Of course.
Top of the diving board, you know how like you bounce and it fluctuates up and down, keeps going, and I somehow had that thing come down on the top of my head, throwing me into the water. And, you know, adrenaline's pumping. I don't know what's going on. Top of my head hurts a little bit. As I'm climbing out the ladder, I see what looks like cherry juice hitting the pavement, and the lifeguard running at me. I'm like, I'm fine. It turns out I was not. Now I got a huge, giant gash, scar, bump on the top of my head.
So are you saying that you hit the diving board that was above you, like the high board?
No, I didn't. It was like a golf resort, just a simple diving board. I guess I'm flexible enough to where I did such a tight front flip or back flip that I actually hit my head on the underside as it bounced down.
Wow. I've seen that once, and it wasn't the Olympics, but it was one of those, wide world of sports like diving competitions. It was a dude, same kind of thing. I assume he had more training than you, but nevertheless, dude jumps off, does some kind of flip, but smashed his head on the board that he had jumped off of and hit the water unconscious.
That almost happened to me because I was starting to get a little concussed. I'm starting to get a little woozy after I was getting out. I almost fell back in, just sitting on a chair.
Remember Greg Louganis was famous for hitting his head?
He may have been him, actually.
Olympics.
Well, it's people like you and Greg Louganis who made sure that none of those diving boards exist at public pools anymore. So thanks a lot for that, based on the insurance.
Hey, do they, when you bleed in the pool, do they shut the pool down, like if you poop in it, or no?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the chlorine does a lot to kill that kind of stuff, but I have no idea. Everyone went out on their merry day.
Yeah, you would have to think that they probably would.
Well, the Louganis thing was scary for him. Is that
yeah, because it was him.
Yeah.
Well, and at that time, I want to say I watched like the story behind it. Like he was still in the closet. He hadn't come out as homosexual, and I think he might have already been HIV positive. So he was like super freaking out that he got blood in the pool.
Okay.
That was in
Greg,
Barcelona.
why are you so worked up? No reason. No reason, man. Just shut down the pool, drain it, refill it.
Yeah, exactly.
But no Jeez, man. That's a...
Can you... Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
Well, try.
Why did you fall? How far did you fall? What broke your fall? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Ray. Welcome to the Mids Room.
Hey, how are you doing, guys?
Hola.
Hey, so, like 27 years ago, I was roofing up on a roof down in Tuckwell, a Doubletree Inn Suites. It no longer exists anymore. And I had told the contractor he had to need to put the guardrails back up on this side of the building. Well, he did, and I went up there and grabbed a dry mop to dry off the roof, and pulled on the dry mop and went right over the side. I was able to turn in midair in order to miss the concrete steps and hit the grass down below. Bumbles do bounce. I bounced right up to my feet and ran around in a little circle because I had knocked the air out of myself and fell right back down on my back.
How many stories? Was that 2 or 3?
That was 2.5.
Okay. And were you able to actually contort yourself, like you said, in the air and kind of adjust the area that you landed in when you fell?
Yeah, I was actually able to turn and miss the concrete stairs. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here if I hit those things.
Now, look, I mean, I know time slows down for sure when you're in the throes of something like that. Is this something you did consciously because you knew the stairs were there, or was it more like as you're falling, you're reminded the stairs are there and contorted your body?
Well, the thing is I went over backwards, and, time goes by so fast, the only thing that went through my mind was, oh, F. Then I turned, so I could see what's going down below, which ended up being the best thing for my life, I guess.
So let me get this straight. If I'm watching this, I see a man fall off the roof of a building. The man hits the ground, snaps to his feet. He runs in a circle and then collapses.
Well, the thing is, there was a resident in their hotel room at that time, and they saw me pass their window.
Oh, my. And did they come out?
It was just crazy that, they just, because nobody else saw me because I was on the back side in this little nook in the back side of this building. They're the ones that actually came out to see if I was okay. Of course, I I had the air knocked out of me, and I couldn't feel my legs, and things like that.
But no broken bones? No broken bones? Nothing like that?
I got lucky enough. I only shattered my wrist in 4 places.
That sounds real lucky. Falling off a roof and breaking your wrist. Now, how much time had to pass before you knew that you were okay? With the exception of but like not concussed, no broken anything besides the wrist. How much time passed?
Well, when the ambulance got there and everything, I was telling them, I can't feel my left leg, and in my right side, it just feels numb. And they put me in the ambulance, and they knew I was in pain, so they hit me with morphine right away. Ooh. I don't ever want morphine ever again.
Why not?
Coming down off of that stuff sucks.
Oh, the come down.
Seriously.
Okay.
Is that based on the amount of pain that's still there, or is that the fact that you want more morphine?
Oh, no, I didn't want any more morphine. No, that made me sick as soon as I was coming down, yeah.
I would guess so.
But how did it feel when you're on morphine? It's one of those things I've never had where I don't want to be in a situation where I need it, but if I do need it, I want a lot of it. I mean, how high are you?
Oh, kind of just makes you feel really floaty.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I like feeling floaty.
Now, did you give up your career in roofing after that, or did you go back up the ladder?
Oh, gosh, I've roofed since I was a little kid with my dad, roofing a company. And nope, I love my sport. I'm still at it, of course.
And what are your new safety precautions? Do you harness up or anything like that in certain instances?
Oh, yeah, we harness up all the time. I work for probably the biggest union company in the state. So, it's all, you got to... Yeah, we go by all kinds of mandates, and they're pretty strict, but it's what you have to do to stay alive.
Well, roofer's one of those jobs I can never do based on just the fact that you're up there doing that. But these window washers downtown freak me the hell out. Do you think that you could, let yourself off of the top of, one of these huge skyscrapers downtown and even just rappel down or, get on a platform and lower yourself? I mean, is that something that you're comfortable with?
Oh, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, growing up as a kid, throw a rope over the branch up in the tree and pull yourself up. No, I don't have a problem with heights or anything like that. It's pretty cool. You get some of the most beautiful views out there.
No, we understand that. But now I'm on a rope climbing down the side of a building. Okay, so now you're wearing harnesses, which is a good idea. Have you fallen while you're in the harness?
No.
Okay. There's the irony. You put on a harness, you don't fall. If you don't have one on, you're almost guaranteed to fall.
Have you ever, because of worn sheathing, have you ever fallen through the roof of a place that you're inspecting?
Yeah, I've stepped through roofs, but I've never came all the way through roofs. I've had partners, go through roofs, and land in somebody's, like a bathroom. And
I've done it. I've gone.
I don't know. I had a buddy who fell. There were a couple of. You might want to sit down for this. In the city of Baltimore, there's some abandoned homes. But there were a few around the corner from us. And I think they were slated to be rebuilt or whatever. But there were 6 connected. It was close to our first place. And we went in at night. And whoever got evicted or left or whatever, they just left a lot of crap. Mm-hmm. And not quality crap, but we're young. We're in our early 20s. So we're curious. And I remember we're all kind of scoping around in there. We climbed up the back fire escape. The back glass window was gone. So you just kind of walk in, and we're walking around this joint. We got flashlights, and there were 4 of us. My roommate, Matt, was the last guy, but the guy in front, the guy named Cliff, goes, "Hey, guys, be careful. There's a hole in the floor." These are 3-story. We're on the 3rd floor. And just, you don't hear anything. You just hear, thunk. God damn it. Well, our buddy Matt did not hear this warning in time. The hole is in the dead center of the floor. He fell down. But it was 15-foot ceilings and just crashed into more. The thing that saved him, there was so much trash left over from whoever was there. He just landed in a pile of crap, basically.
It's a common thing. It's a common thing in Baltimore, believe it or not, for people to fall through the roof. Because a lot of the times people have a deck up on their row homes. And in 1970,
that looks like they built themselves.
In 1970, they had a fire in downtown Baltimore that burned about 2 blocks. And the reason that it burned was because the fire spread vertically, which is very difficult because most of these homes have brick walls in between them.
Yeah.
But that's how the fire spread. So they determined at that point in time that the smartest thing to do was put in fire code where instead of having 3/4 inch plywood or inch plywood or whatever, they used 1/2 inch plywood. Mm-hmm. It was also heat sensitive. So it would break apart in the event that it got hot up there.
Right.
And the idea was that you would vent one unit if it caught on fire and it would not spread to the ones on the side.
Because it's going to fall into your cement backyard that's separated by your cement wall from your neighbor.
But this became code. And so when you had one of these roofs from that time era, people would just pop. I mean, roofers tell you all the time, guy's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I got a buddy going through it right now.
What do you mean?
He lives in Baltimore. The roof is ruined. There's like a giant hole in it.
Yeah, that's the standard.
He's had like a tarp or whatever on it, and then with COVID, he couldn't get anybody, so now he's like living in a hotel for 3 weeks while they fix it.
Jesus. Speaking of fire code, that is why. So a lot of people, we were talking about your the highest point in your home. If you have a cathedral ceiling, right, and it's 14 feet up there, there's your fire alarm, and that thing's beeping, and you can't do anything about it. Well, apparently, everyone in the city knows what we don't know. By fire code designation, it is placed there because smoke goes to the highest location.
That makes sense. That's what I was like. It has to be. Nobody's just doing this.
It's got to be an easier way to change the battery.
Still, couldn't you still look? The smoke still has to get up there. So I feel what you're saying. You're right. It's going to go to the highest point. It's going to collect, but. Couldn't you put it at 9 feet and this still gets a whiff?
Right.
It gets a whiff of the smoke going up there.
I got 35 less seconds, but I don't have to get up there and change that battery.
That's all.
I think I can
I know what you're saying, but
you think,
right?
Can it detect smoke in a lower location? Does it have to be that choked out? Like, come on, man. I've cooked food that set off my goddamn fire detector. Apparently, it was smokier in my kitchen than and keep in mind, the smoke detector's not in the kitchen, and it still set the freaking thing off.
Some of them are a little more sensitive.
Well, some they get triggered by dust.
I'm just saying, like the places I've lived, like I had one place where it was like, you just barely could open the oven door if you were cooking something.
And that thing just went off.
It would just go off all the time.
Why did you fall? How far did you fall? And what broke your fall? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Alex. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
So, this happened like 30 years ago. My brother, in between the summer of his senior and junior year, was our scrapper on a framing job. I built the stairs and they're a half inch too high, so I told him to go get Big Bertha, which was our sledgehammer. And it just happened to be on the third floor. And I slammed the thing about 4 or 5 times. It's just like an eighth of an inch too high. So then I hit it. I told him I'm going to hit it one more time to get it flush. Hit it. The stairs fell out. I fell almost 30 feet and landed on my back on the concrete basement floor.
Jesus Christ. How bad were you messed up?
I bounced twice.
You bounced?
Twice.
Huh.
And landed in between the walls, and I remember hearing my brother as I was falling say, Chris was my boss. I remember hearing him yell, Chris, I think my brother's dead. And then I just got up, dusted off, and there was nothing. I mean, it didn't even knock the wind out of me.
What about like the next day? Did you feel the impact points the next day?
I didn't feel it. No, I was like 20 years old. I just bounced a couple times and went back to work the next day.
Damn.
Good God, man.
That's a long way to fall,
landed
man.
In between the walls, still had the sledgehammer in my hand. And
Did you ever get the steps put in properly?
Oh, yeah, we got the steps put in.
Cool,
It was the year that they built the Olympic pool in Puyallup. I don't know what year that was, like 2000, or not 2000. It would be like, 99, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was 99.
Yeah. How old are you now?
Yeah. Just turned 50.
Are you still doing construction?
Not framing, no. I got a better one, though. I got a better one than that.
Okay.
If you want to hear it.
Sure. If you're going to fall 30 feet and you got a better one, go ahead.
Well, this one is my senior year in high school. I was running late for work. I was hauling ass down a hill with my bike. I had a little racing Peugeot, and at the bottom of the hill, I didn't know there was a stop sign because there's a cube van parked sideways in front of it. So right when I get even with it, I see the stop sign out my right eye, and I'm like, oh, man, this is going to hurt. Hopefully there's no cars. I looked because my brakes didn't lock up because it was raining. So I looked to the left. There's no car because that's the closest lane that's going to hit me. I look to the right. Here comes the car, and, I tried to pedal all the way. I hit the front fender, landed on the hood, dented the fender, dented the hood, slid back at about a 45-degree angle. My ass was even with the steering wheel. Then I went up in the air, dented the roof from inside the car, and I flipped 6 times. I was conscious the whole time, and I was counting. I was like, please, God, don't let my head hit the ground.
I had that thought.
I'm 6'6", so
Oh, Jesus.
I flipped 6 times, remember counting, and then my head hit the ground. My eyebrow landed right on my eyebrow. And
You landed on your eyebrow?
yeah, landed on my head. So my head was cocked back or something.
Did you pop back up again?
No, I didn't pop back up. I woke up in the hospital. It was about 9:30. My mom was there. I was pissed that I was in the hospital. And I told her, where's my clothes? Because they still had me on the stretcher. She said, we got to stay there. I was like, no, let's go. I don't want to be in here. So we leave after she gave me the clothes that she brought there. We leave. I get home. I'm laying on the couch. I'm rubbing my back, stretch my back, the part that went, right above my ass and went through the windshield. I feel these hard things. Well, it's windshield glass. So then my mom, she's like, we got to go back to the hospital. I said, no, tell Dad to get his knife and heat it up. So he got his knife, heated up, and he picked, I don't know, about 8 or 10 glass chunks out of my...
Is your father John Rambo? I mean, like, just take the knife and cut it out, Mom.
Just take a swing of this Jack Daniels and grit your teeth. Here.
Bite on this piece of bamboo, son.
I was about to say, here's a stick.
Right, exactly.
Good Lord.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and you had the last Peugeot bike in North America.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you totaled it.
He's gone.
Oh, I was going to say, when's the last time you felt pain?
Here's
what
a question.
hurt you, sir?
Is there any other name that is always associated with being big and fat other than Bertha? All right, so he said he picked up a sledgehammer when he fell 30 feet, landed between them. It was Big Bertha, sledgehammer.
Right.
When they were cutting the tunnel in downtown Seattle that nobody wanted,
Big Bertha.
It was Big Bertha. And I'm thinking, if you
there's a golf club.
TaylorMade,
It used to be a golf club.
Giant
Big Bertha. They don't make maybe they don't make
is
it
there
anymore.
any other, because Bertha is an actual name, but I can't imagine anyone would actually name their kid Bertha, even if it's a family name, because it says, look.
There's a Bertha listening right now who's really offended by this conversation.
Who's thin, she weighs 105 pounds, and it's like, I'm not.
Yeah, she's
I think it
13 hot
depends.
Bertha.
I think it depends on the family.
What do you mean?
Like some families have thinner builds. Some are short and stocky. You ain't gonna find a Bertha in my family.
You're not going to find a Bertha in your family, but if your name's Bertha at all, everyone assumes you're because it's only Big Bertha. It's not any other kind of Bertha.
You couldn't go
It's
on the
Big
Bertha. There would never be the Bertha diet.
Right.
Be delicious.
Would you take the Bertha diet?
If you're trying to gain 50 pounds.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. You just
You're an
assume it's
offensive
the
lineman in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bertha diet.
The Bertha
Put
diet.
on that weight.
AKA the party pack.
Wouldn't be a good singles app either.
No.
Oh, yeah, I got on Bertha. That's where I met him.
Oh, Bertha, yeah.
Is he big? He's
Would you
huge.
click on that thumbnail?
Why did you fall? How far did you fall? What broke your fall? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.